From Screen Junkie Studios in the heart of Los Angeles, this is Screen Junkies Movie Fights. Now your host, Andy Signore.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to an amazing episode of Movie Fights. We have three amazing guest stars here that I cannot wait to get to. We're going to tackle some fantastic themes you guys have been asking us to do forever, including Best Zombie Movie, Best Graphic Novel, Best Movie Twist. These are some definitive fights, and we got some three amazing fighters to fight them. Let's set it up. First up, he's the writer of Chronicle American Ultra, now BBC America's Dirk Gently. He said he'd never come back. Here he is, Max Landis.
I'm not technically back. I'm here to support my friends and collaborate.
That's
You're
what
back.
I really want to get to, because Max stepped in because we have two amazing fighters here that I'm so happy to have. He's the CEO of Skybound Entertainment, producer of so many things, including Dirk Gently, but also Walking Dead, which is premiering on Sunday. Let's welcome David Albert. Welcome, David.
Hello. Thank you. Good to be here.
Happy to have you, man.
Great to be here.
And oh my God, the creator of Walking Dead himself, Mr. Robert Kirkman.
Hello.
Honor to have
be
all
here.
three of you guys. Wow. So much to talk about that we're going to get to, but I want to just plug some stuff. Obviously, here for you guys. Walking Dead Season 7 starts Sunday. We're going to find out who dies, right?
Well, maybe
we're not
not.
going to be teased again,
No,
are
we're
we?
teasing.
Somebody
We're teasing.
died?
We're not telling you in the first episode. It's not happening.
Baby Judith,
No,
right?
I'm kidding.
It's really
Yeah,
dark.
You'll
It's all-
finally find out.
The first half is a flashback. The first half of the season.
Yeah, you'll quickly find out that he broke the bat over someone's head, and then he takes Baby Judith and uses Baby Judith to beat the person to death. So
It's dark.
What if it
That's,
turns out Negan
dark.
was literally just kidding around? He was like,
Just kidding.
It starts, they're all at dinner.
it's a slow motion shot of the bat swiping by someone's head. And not
Gotcha,
hitting
didn't I,
anything.
guys? I gotcha.
Have we
Yeah.
announced Gallagher is coming on the show?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was just a
Comedian
watermelon.
Gallagher?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That would blow fans' minds. But it's not just that. iTunes release of Outcast comes out on Halloween for season 1.
October 31st.
Check it
And
out.
you guys have done a comic with Mr. Landis here,
Yeah.
Green Valley, which is out as well.
No
Issue
regrets.
1.
It's real good and it's real crazy.
Yeah.
It's really an
Our
awesome
fans
comic.
loved American Alien, so if you'd love that, come check out Green Valley.
It's not what it appears to be
Okay.
from the first issue. You'll enjoy the first issue, but even up until about issue 4 is when it starts revealing itself. I should say that my relationship to these men is very, very thick and long and storied.
How thick and long is it, Max?
Oh, I think you know.
Oh boy.
But I actually waited in line an hour to meet Robert when I was 18.
Oh, wow.
And DA is one of sort of the two people responsible for me having a professional career. He was my first manager. He's a mentor. I remember when The Walking Dead started, and he was like, I'm going to try to produce some things. And then it's like, now it's the biggest fucking television show in the world. I couldn't not come back. Can I read the text you sent
Oh,
me?
sure. Please share the secret text note.
So, as you recall, last time I was on Movie Fights, I was defeated for the first time, and I was defeated ingloriously. I got wiped the floor with. So I wrote to Andy, "Don't be fucking biased. I swear, if you have kid gloves on, I'll be the biggest YouTube troll imaginable. I'm a literal demon from hell." He says, "I never am. Let's just have fun this round," smiley face. I say, "I'm here to eviscerate and embarrass men I consider friends and mentors. My heart is a black empty hole in the shape of milk duds." He says, "Or we could try a take where three friends have a smart, friendly debate about movies," smiley face. And I don't respond.
We'll see which way it goes right now. I'm excited to do this.
Wow.
You guys have seen the show. Max is intense, but hey, he has been beaten, so don't let him trick you. If you
I
have
ain't
any,
scared.
if you anything you say is wrong, we do have Dan Merrill on the couch who will be correcting all of our wrongs as our fact checker. Dan, this is an epic showdown.
It is. I'm glad to be on this side of
Yeah.
it this time.
I think
'cause
it's gonna
Max-
get intense.
Max gave me a run for my
We got
money
a
last
fact checker
time,
here
so.
because I literally remember no facts.
It's
All
okay,
right.
you could run for president.
Seriously. Let's get straight to it. I don't want to delay this any further. Number 1, round 1. Oh,
Let's get nuts. I want to fight you.
Want to fight? Let him fight.
Stop this fight, I'll kill you.
I could do this all day.
round 1. This, I think, is a fantastic question with the creator of The Walking Dead here. Best zombie movie. What is it, guys? You're going to tell me. We're going to start with you, Max. What did you pick for the best zombie movie?
Well, I would say that American Werewolf in London is the best werewolf movie, and I think that's because it both executes the genre while commenting on it. It has everything you want from a werewolf movie, plus some other stuff. And along those same lines, Shaun of the Dead has everything you would want from a zombie movie. It has fear, horror, tragedy, sadness. It has the stakes of a zombie movie. Occasionally, in moments, it successfully fakes, despite its low budget, having the scale of a zombie movie. It has moments in it borrowing the best parts of Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, even the Return of the Living Dead movies. Everything gets a shout out in this movie that is simultaneously also an incredibly heartfelt romantic comedy that succeeds as a romantic comedy, succeeds as a zombie movie, and therefore, while Romero's trilogy is groundbreaking and incredible, it simply rises above to become something better. Getting the cornetto is one of the best scenes, maybe in movies.
David, what's your pick?
I'm going with a controversial pick, which is 28 Days Later. So what I think is that you've seen that the zombie evolution in mythology has really evolved over the course of time. So you go back to the classic horror movies from the 30s, and you sort of see this slow lumbering thing. There's sort of this voodoo-inspired thing. Romero obviously brings it back, sort of takes everything to the next level, but they sort of die out, right? There's a whole period of time where zombies are just considered they aspire to beingness, but 28 Days Later is the first movie that treats them with seriousness and respect in sort of the modern era. And I think that movie, given the fact that it was serious, it gave the characters weight, it gave their emotions value, that movie allows there to be stakes in a zombie world that hasn't been done before.
Great, we'll hit more, but Robert, what's your pick?
Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I'm kidding. Day of the Dead.
Good.
No, it was actually a great movie. I like it quite a bit. But it's Romero's Day of the Dead. It's got to be Day of the Dead. You guys are all wrong. You can't pick best zombie movie in this category without picking a Romero movie. I mean, I respect both of these movies. They are definitely great. But Day of the Dead has a bleakness to it that I find really appealing, but maybe off-putting to some. But I just love the claustrophobia of it, and it's one of the zombie movies where it advances the genre to a certain extent because it takes place so much deeper into the zombie apocalypse. Most zombie movies deal with the opening scenes and society collapsing, and this the opening scene with the helicopter and the city that's already decimated is, I think, absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's a rapid succession of amazing, iconic scenes, like one after another. Tom Savini's gore effects are like absolutely top notch in that movie. It's got some of the best looking zombies and some of the craziest looking gore that you want out of a zombie movie. And don't you shake your head like you disagree. You are crazy. People still can't figure out how he did that dissected head with the brain and the body still. It's crazy. But and they take off in a helicopter, and all the best zombie movies end with people getting in a helicopter and flying away.
All right,
Spoilers,
guys.
Walking Dead season 12.
All right, now we've heard your choices. Fight it out. Tell me why the other two are worse than the one you picked.
Well, they simply are. They're not bad movies. They're both iconic. But you guys are remembering them with rose-colored glasses that Shaun of the Dead does not need. If you recall, first of all, I just want to say, technically, Rob made a noise too. 28 Days Later is not a zombie movie. They're sick. They're humans. They're not the living dead. In fact,
define a zombie for me.
I will defend him there only in that thematically it is clearly a zombie movie.
Is the Crazies is the original Crazies a zombie movie?
I would say that the Crazies is a zombie movie.
No, look at Robert.
Sure it is.
No, you're just doing it.
I'm not conceding.
Nice. Okay, well,
we're going to gang up on you, Max.
I knew it was coming. Ever since I ruined your panel at Morrison Con.
You did not ruin any panel I've ever
stay on topic.
You have always been a delight, and I respect and admire you, and I love you very much.
Oh, we all love each other. I don't want to hear that shit.
But you have terrible fucking taste in movies, and Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead, while a masterpiece in and of itself, is British, and this is not the UK, and so by default,
I just think 28 Days Later is British.
I haven't even gotten to that.
I think that Shaun of the Dead, the issue to me with Shaun of the Dead, I actually love it as a movie. I don't think it actually qualifies to me as what I would consider a zombie movie.
Okay.
Right? Why?
Because ultimately it's a romantic comedy.
No, but it's not. His fucking mother dies. His father is transformed into a zombie and trapped in a car.
Movies that mothers die in that have nothing to do with zombies. That doesn't make it a zombie movie.
Die after being bitten by zombies? Are there many movies where mothers get bitten by zombies that aren't zombies movies? Okay, let's talk about 28 28 Days fucking Later. It's great for about 2 acts, brother, and then it's we can't rape you until you put on a sexy dress, and it becomes
that's great.
It's trash. It becomes trash. It becomes a slasher in a house. It degenerates. People forget that because of all the fun stuff in the first 2 acts, but 28 Days Later falls the fuck apart.
No, I would say that I would agree with you that 28 weeks later is actually sort of the thing that to me falls apart and takes. Yes, I think
I'm going to go ahead and say 28 Weeks Later is a better movie. Robert,
oh my God, get out of here!
Though. Go ahead.
No, so 28 weeks later. The problem with 28 weeks later is I agree that the third act of 28 Days Later is actually the worst of the 3 acts because I think 28 Days Later, the first 2 acts, reinvents an entire genre that had been dead for 20 years, that hadn't been seen on screen by a mass audience in 20 years. And that's a huge thing. And it did it because it treated the characters with respect. It gave a scientific understanding and basis to something that people were
No, it didn't. The monkeys were just angry, and it's angry monkey blood.
Listen,
the monkeys had to watch videos of people hitting each other, and that made their blood angry?
Yes.
That's your scientific...
Listen,
Lord.
all 3 of these movies are fantastic touchstones in the history of zombie films. And I think that we've all taken I'm very proud that there's not a one in the bunch that's embarrassing. Like one of us didn't pick some embarrassing piece of crap that never should have been mentioned. But as great as these other 2 movies are, and Shaun of the Dead probably would have been my second pick, you know, if I had to list like my top 5, 28 Days Later wouldn't have been on the list. But I will say that although it is a good movie, but these 2 movies don't exist without Day of the Dead and the Romero trilogy. You have to respect that. Like, you can't say, oh, just because you can't take the things that you learn in a Romero movie that make zombie movies cool and put them in another movie, and that's like giving you you're getting a leg up. You're getting a leg up. You're watching Shaun of the Dead. It's fantastic, but a lot of those scenes only work and are only understood because of the narrative language you have learned from Romero movies, and so in a sense, it's cheating. It's cheating.
I 100% agree, but I'm going to lay
The
down
same
the
way
truck.
Walking Dead does the same thing.
That's your final thought here. I'm going to give you that. Go ahead.
Okay, the way that every good zombie story
He doesn't get a final thought because 28 Days Later is not.
Go ahead. You gave a final thought.
Every zombie story should start with somebody waking up in a coma in a hospital, and that is why 28 Days Later is the best story. And if you disagree with me,
I agree now.
there you go.
Final thought?
Day of the Dead is the least watched, although arguably the smartest of Romero's movies.
And we're not doing a popularity contest.
This is the last thought. This is the thing, is that ultimately that movie, while it has a lot of great stuff in it, it doesn't come together as well as the previous 2. 28 Days Later, I think, is a silly movie. It's very pretty, but Shaun of the Dead is an actual great movie. It's not a great movie by zombie movie standards. It's not a great movie by 70s standards or 80s standards.
But we're talking about zombie movies.
I'm talking about the best zombie movie right now, and it's Shaun of the fucking Dead.
Woo! Good heated battle. Dan, anything you'd like to add?
I want to only do this with my friends from now on. Like, seriously.
It's hard to fact check opinions. No factual inaccuracies.
3 experts
that I
up
could
here,
find.
yeah.
3 experts. There is, of course, the ongoing discussion about the zombie nature of 28 Days Later. Shaun of the Dead actually takes a shot at 28 Days Later in the movie itself. So even among zombie enthusiasts, the debate rages, but there's no definitive answer. Other than that, factually, it's a clean round.
Based on the arguments, they both kind of ganged up at you on 28 Days Later, and I didn't hear enough to fight against it, so it did come down to between Max and Robert. And it was a good heated battle there between the 2 of you, but ultimately... You even said it yourself, it's not the best zombie standards. And then he kicked you on that when you said it, but he also really pointed out to me that the things that you keep saying are cool wouldn't be cool unless you knew the things in his. It was a strong argument. I got to give it to Robert round one.
So you're saying Star Wars isn't good because of the Hidden Fortress?
I'm just saying his argument was better than yours that round.
You think everyone who watched Shaun of the Dead had seen Day of the Dead?
I'm just basing it off the facts, and he got you on the fact. You even said it. It wasn't better movie, maybe best zombie. It's not good for zombie standards. Watch the tape. Round 2.
Game on, Max Landis. Game on.
Round 2. Here we go. All right, we're going to keep the zombie theme going. What would be the best movie? I'm sorry, what movie would be better if you added zombies? And we're going to start with you, David. Tell me a movie that would be better if you added zombies, and tell us why.
Me, him, her. No,
Go fuck yourself. Enough people haven't even seen my directorial debut, Me, Him, Her, which is quite good, available on iTunes.
Oh, not your pick. Okay, that was a joke.
That was
Okay.
a joke. That was a joke. But you should see it. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. It would be better if it had zombies in it. But it's a great
you
movie.
motherfucker. It has a dragon. It has a sword
There's no
fight.
zombies.
Real choice. What's your real
Anyway,
choice?
When Harry Met Sally, right? So this is the story of two people that are meeting each other at different points in their lives and trying to figure out where in their life they actually are sort of best suited to get together. But what they don't deal with is the afterlife, right? So I think if you added that element of having Sally be a zombie, that whole scene in the diner where she goes through the orgasm and starts going there and starts going, and starts leaning over for his brains, I think that in and of itself would make that movie to a whole nother level.
And
Right,
all the
sure would.
other zombies in the diner say,
He's the writer. There you go, Robert.
This is very difficult for me because I think almost every movie could be improved with the addition of zombies. So it's hard for me to narrow it down. I'm very excited because I'm going to leave here and go see Jack Reacher, the second one. So I'm just going to say
Hell yeah.
Jack Reacher because I'm really excited about Jack Reacher.
But you're saying the first one.
First Jack Reacher. I haven't seen the second one. I assume the second one would be equally improved, but I'm going with the first Jack Reacher, the Werner Herzog villain. Jack
Why
Reacher.
would that bring a little? Why would that make it better for you?
I think that it is a near perfect movie. The only thing is, I feel like in the very final scene, I feel like he comes out of there after killing Werner Herzog, and there's zombies there, and then the movie's got like an extra 20 minutes where he fights zombies. So I don't think that it necessarily changes much about the movie because the movie is great in and of itself, but makes the last scene a little better.
Certainly
what
affects the
type of,
sequel, I would imagine,
The
too.
sequel would be infinitely more interesting.
What type of sex act would a Jack Reacher be?
I don't know. Whenever I hear Jack Reacher, I think of my friend Matt going, Jack Reacher in the Black Lagoon Creature while he was high on mushrooms. And I laugh every time.
That does it.
What's your movie better with zombies?
Okay, so those are both interesting picks.
I think.
Thank you.
Round goes to Max.
The outbreak starts. The family is rushing to leave the house. Chaos. Everything's hell. The kid gets separated for a minute, and then they manage to pull the kid into the car. What about my cat? Fucking Homeward Bound. I'm not doing it as a joke or an action movie. I think Homeward Bound in a zombie apocalypse would actually be an all-time horror classic. In most zombie movies, zombies ignore animals. How incredible would it be to do a road movie, which is what Homeward Bound is? It's a road friendship comedy between three animals through a post-apocalyptic world that's falling apart, getting little glimpses of human society breaking down as we spend time with these three dogs with great celebrity voice, the two dogs and a cat with great celebrity voices. Remember the scene with the porcupine? That would be a zombie actually confronts one of them finally. The stakes would be huge. You could do it PG-13 and make it like a huge summer movie. Imagine with modern effects, a Homeward Bound movie set in a post-apocalyptic world. Just imagine the dog in the supermarket. Oh my God, all the food is free! Like eating as the zombies go around and we know, holy shit, they're not gonna make it back to this family. And then at the end of the movie, they fucking do. That's a movie when I thought of that, I was like, I'm mad that doesn't exist. Two dogs and a cat perspective on the apocalypse. That's fucking sick, dude. I just that to me, I'm like sad it doesn't exist. I'm sad.
Is that sick, guys? What do you think?
First of all, I concede. That sounds awesome. I want to watch that movie.
I do too.
No, that sounds
Max
great.
gets the point.
Second of all, I haven't seen this Homeward Bound. Is it like Milo and Otis?
Kind of. It's like Milo and Otis, except for the animals talk. And it's funny. It's very 90s, but it remains funny and sweet, and you do cry at the end. It's like it's even by modern standards, not a bad movie. When's the last time you saw Free Willy?
I don't think I ever saw Free Willy.
That was going to be my first pick, was the zombie apocalypse happens, and a kid goes, what about all the animals in the aquarium?
Is anyone disputing that? I thought that was a great pitch. You really going to fight that one?
I'm not fighting that one.
I'm going to fight it because why not?
No, you're
right?
not. Let's move on to round three. Come on, that was fantastic, and I want to make a better. I don't want to waste time in a dumb fight. That was a great pitch. He conceded. When that happens, I got to do it. Max got the point.
That's a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Let's save the time in round 3. Here we go, round 3.
Yeah. We didn't even have,
Any thoughts?
it's a movie fight first. You made the judgment before the Twitter poll even went out.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that was a really good pitch, and I felt like they gave 2 joke answers. I could have just hemmed and hawed a little bit and faked it, but Max was going to win that point. Let's go to round 3. We'll take some more time there.
Sorry about joke answers. Does that make you mad?
No, they were funny, but that was actually
I
thought that was a joke answer too.
I wasn't joking.
I had a whole thing
Jack
about Billy
Reacher
Crystal, but he turns to the end of the book, right? Because he's afraid of dying. I didn't even get to make
Go ahead.
No, fine. Now you don't get it.
You can't unring that bell.
Now you don't.
It's
no.
okay. Just give us extra time on this next one because this is going to be a fucking brawl.
That's why I went here. In honor of Dirk Gently, Holistic Detective Agency, Saturday, correct, on BBC
Saturday
America.
night. Please watch, guys.
And Walking Dead airing Sunday. We get to tag both these because both of these shows have mystery, detective work, twists on Walking Dead. Let's really get to it. What is the best movie twist of all time? We're going to start with you, Robert. Best movie twist of all time.
I think another difficult one for me. All these are difficult because I can't remember anything about any movie I've seen. But Psycho, I think, is a great movie twist. I think it's a fairly early movie twist, I think, and definitely catches you by surprise. And movie twists when they harken back to scenes that you've already seen. I think that's really the best stuff, where you're like, oh, I was totally seeing a different thing when I was seeing this movie, and it promotes rewatching and stuff. So I think that's a great thing. I don't know.
Great, Max.
Oh, I mean, like, are you gonna accept that since Psycho was the first big twist, all subsequent movies with twists owe it that?
It's not.
Concede.
No,
Concede.
leave me alone.
There you go.
Leave me alone. Okay, so No Way Out is a movie with Kevin Costner. It's real good. It's a movie about a young military
We should
man.
say spoiler warning on all 3 of these movies.
Oh yeah, okay.
I haven't seen this movie.
I'm just gonna really quick.
No.
I'm gonna really quickly pitch the movie, and then I'm gonna really quickly pitch it, and then I'm gonna say what the twist is.
Take your time, because I'm clearly not good at this.
Okay, so that's because you're good
doing
at
great. You got a point.
you're good at actual pitching and writing.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point. I'm like this
Phony
guy.
like me. But no, so basically No Way Out is a movie about Kevin Costner. He's a young military officer. He's assigned to the Pentagon, and the people in the Pentagon think there's a spy in the Pentagon. They think there's a Russian spy who's like been there and has been planted forever, and Kevin Costner is being transferred in to find the spy, and he's like, okay. So the first big twist of the movie hits, which is that the girl Kevin Costner has a one-night stand with is murdered, and he's like, how the fuck did this happen? What the fuck happened to this woman? And all of a sudden people are like, it was the spy. And Kevin Costner's like, there's no evidence of that. And it slowly breaks down that, I forget what the technical title is, but basically the chief of staff was also fucking her, and now is using the spy to pin, saying like, Kevin Costner's a spy, so they locked down the Pentagon, and he murdered the girl, even though really this guy murdered the girl. So finally, Kevin Costner manages to prove there's no spy, to fucking point the finger at the right guy who actually murdered the girl, which was actually the chief of staff's assistant, who was like a problem. He finally manages to prove there's no spy. He's trapped in the Pentagon, and they've proven he's the spy the whole time. And then he beats the system and he leaves. And he goes to a house where he meets his Russian handlers, and he was the fucking spy. It's the last 2 minutes of the movie. It's a full, really good thriller that exists without the pitch, without the twist. And then in the final moments, it goes, fuck you, and then it ends. It's one of the most mind-blowing. There's nothing to tell you that that's going to be the twist. The whole movie, you're just trapped in the Pentagon going, I'm not the spy, and you totally believe that he's not the spy. No, he's Yuri. He's been there since he was a little kid. He's a long-time plant. No Way Out, if you haven't seen it, it's a really good movie. And the twist, I just ruined it for you, which sucks, because it's my favorite film twist.
So,
David?
So to me, I when I thought about this question, I think the question really comes down to how do you define a twist, and like sort of what is the import of having a twist in a film, right? So, some of the great twist movies that sort of pop into mind, sort of like, okay, The Crying Game and Sixth Sense, like those were sort of like obvious things that sort of jumped out at me. And I looked at them and I was like, you know what? The truth is, after knowing the twist, I don't really enjoy going back and watching those movies again. I sort of, there's stuff in The Crying Game that's interesting, but like once you're like, okay, I'm not really that interested. And The Sixth Sense, once you know it's done, like someone actually spoiled the twist for me in the movie, and I couldn't really enjoy the rest of the film, and I was never able to go back. So I was like, okay, so maybe then the definition of what makes a twist is that the movie has to be great in and of itself, and once you know the twist, the movie still has to be rewatchable, and that has to sort of elevate your experience, right? So then the twist, though, has to do something. It has to take the movie to a whole nother level. So I look at something, and the movie that I came up with was Usual Suspects. And the reason why Usual Suspects work is that the plot itself is fascinating, intriguing, and it draws you in. It has you entirely engrossed as to not only just what the hell is happening, who is Kaiser Soze, who are these people, how are they all connected, who is Verbal Kint? Like, what is this guy doing? And the movie, even though you know it, even though after having watched the movie, by the way, if you know, just ruined it for you, but he is Kaiser Soze. Even when you go back and you rewatch it, he still convinces you. His performance is so amazing in that role that he convinces you, even if you know that he's Kaiser Soze, you're like, there's no way that guy with the limp is the most terrifying person on the planet. And then you even go back, and I remember the second time I watched it, I was like, oh, Kobayashi, that guy. I'm like, oh, he really must be it. Like, because you feel like there's no way that Kevin Spacey can actually be Kaiser Soze. And then he walks out, and that limp sort of slowly goes away, and it just hits you every single time that you see the movie. So that, to me, the movie is great in and of itself, beginning, middle, and end. It's incredibly rewatchable, and the twist does nothing but elevate it.
This is going to be a tough one. 3 good choices. Let's hear it out. Any thoughts as to why yours is better?
Psycho's black and white. There's a twist at the beginning where the main character just dies, and it's like, oh, movie's not about her. And then that,
You're trying to add another twist?
Yeah, there's like 2 twists.
Can I say?
So my movie has 2 twists, and it's black and white.
Wow.
My mom's a costume designer, and the first time I was like aware, I got chills. I remember that my mom was like a genius. Is we were watching Sixth Sense in the theater, and she went, "Is Bruce Willis a ghost?" And I went, "Why?" And she said, "He's wearing the same thing in every scene." "Oh, did he die when he got shot? Did I miss it?" And I went, "No, he's not a fucking ghost." And then he was just waiting the whole movie, and it was the first time I walked out of the movie. I looked at my mom in a different way. She's so great. But
Your mom is great.
Yeah. Psycho's
not my favorite mom, but she's okay. She's okay. As far as moms go,
Psycho's a great twist. It's not. It's a key. It's an ending piece of the movie.
Wrong.
Thanks, Trump. Usual Suspects is a great twist, but I would actually argue that it doesn't have rewatch value. I think what makes mine better, with respect to both of yours, what makes mine better is that the movie would completely function, No Way Out would completely function as a really good thriller without the twist. Usual Suspects, if you didn't find out who Verbal Kint or who Kaiser Soze was, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? If it was really an old woman stabbing people in Psycho, what the fuck is that? And you already know Norman's a little bit bad, but No Way Out actually convinces you 100% that there won't be a twist. That, to me, is incredible.
I actually look at it the other way, right? To me, that is a cherry on top of a sundae. The sundae still works as a sundae without a cherry. You put a little cherry on top, and like, yeah, it doesn't make a sundae better? Sure. Kaiser, if you walk out of Usual Suspects and don't know who Kaiser Soze is, the whole movie falls apart. So everything, the entire movie is built around this one twist, right? Everything sort of works, and it still is rewatchable. Psycho, by the way, is a fantastic film. I love it.
I'd argue Psycho's more rewatchable than The Usual Suspects.
I could watch Usual Suspects probably 1,000. I've watched it 1,000 times. I watched both these movies 1,000 times. But the main thing I would say about Usual Suspects is the whole movie is built around that, right? And the fact is, yes, there's a whole bunch of clues and things, and you could figure out that there was this case and what happened, who's intimidating who. And if you don't know who Kaiser Soze is, the movie doesn't work, right? For you, at the end, you can literally cut out the twist of your movie, and you still enjoy it. The movie works. That to me is like, it's just a little bit of an add-on. Psycho is an iconic twist, but it's one of those things where it feels like it's building up to like it's a one-note gag, and I feel like there isn't necessarily a ton more there. Plus, they also made a TV show out of it that was like, sort of really.
Don't blame it on.
Don't attack other
do you hate Jaws because of Jaws 2? Like, come on.
I like it less.
No,
I like
look,
it less because it draws.
I'm a character guy. That's the stuff that interests me the most in stories, and I think that the character in Psycho, whose name I can't remember right now, which is
Norman
embarrassing.
Bates?
Norman Bates. There we go. Bates Motel. Yeah, we're good. Anyway,
Carlton
so I lost. But anyway, so Norman Bates is such a victim in that movie up until the twist. Like, he does bad things, and he's like hiding a body and all this stuff, but he seems like he's at the mercy of someone who is terrifying him, and you know that he's almost a victim, and so you, to a certain extent, sympathize with him. And so then the twist changes his character around and completely changes the way you think about the movie. Usual Suspects, you know, that twist is hidden so well, it could almost be any character. Like, you're watching Kevin Spacey, he's playing a different character for that entire movie.
That's
there
a
aren't
great
really
point.
any hints along the way that say, oh, he might be Kaiser Soze. So you could have had any one of those characters at the end of that movie go, you know, you could have Benicio del Toro go, I talk normal now, I'm Kaiser Soze, and walk off into the distance. And so, you know, I feel like that dings it for me. And then I haven't seen your movie, so you lose.
Final thought?
I don't. I just.
Yeah, let's go.
I don't really think.
I'm sorry.
That's my final thought, right? Because I have literally nothing else to say. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
go
you.
ahead. Final thoughts.
I don't think the whole movie's designed around it, and you basically have this situation where you think you're breaking somebody down, right? Like, you have this whole dynamic where the entire power dynamic of the movie is Chaz Palminteri breaking down Kevin Spacey, sort of breaking him down to try to get to the reaction, and he gives something up, right? He gives up the guy, he gives up the character, he gives him what he thinks he wants, and you feel, honestly, in that moment, you feel like, oh, that makes sense, right? You feel like that works. You feel satisfied with that answer, and you feel like, hey, Chaz did it, and he goes and gets it, and then everything starts coming together. That, to me, is fantastic writing. It really really works. Yes, there's a character reveal that comes out in Psycho, for sure, absolutely, that makes you look different, but the movie itself doesn't sort of revolve around the twist. To me, the fact is, the twist is the central element of what makes Usual Suspects a great movie. Without it, it doesn't exist. Psycho is a fantastic character study of a guy who's gone to sort of, you know, psychopathic ends, you know, and sort of No Way Out is a great movie that you literally can, according to Max, take out the twist entirely and still have a good movie. So those things to me just feel extraneous as opposed to Usual Suspects, which is a twist movie.
Max?
You just undercut your own argument.
No, that's incorrect.
No, you literally, I don't know if the audience was paying attention, I don't know if you were paying attention, but he literally just said, the movie could have ended right there and you would have been satisfied. Yeah, because it's the same thing, it's just not as good of a twist as No Way Out.
The answer.
It's no, you wouldn't have been satisfied with that answer. If okay, so you were right originally, then you undercut your argument. I'm not going to beat you up for it. Here's
She's a nasty woman.
Here's the truth.
Nasty woman.
Here's the truth. Here's the truth. We did an interesting thing here, which is we argued 3 different types of twists. The twist in Psycho is a character reveal that is not structurally significant to the movie, right? The twist in Usual Suspects is a plot point that is necessary for the movie to function.
Correct.
Right? Although it would function just not very good, and you'd be like, oh, it was him, without the twist. The twist, I argued, is a narrative choice, is like the classic definition of it. We argued 3 different equally valid versions of twists. But the twist I argued was a movie that actually works really good without it, and then is pushed over into what I believe to be writing and storytelling genius by it. It comes an inch short. I do believe that. I think Usual Suspects without the twist comes like 5 feet short. And maybe that makes the twist element better.
More valuable.
But it makes it
better
makes
movie.
it a plot point, not really a twist. It's a necessary piece of Usual Suspects.
To me, if you're going to value sort of a twist,
you had your final thought. Let me finish.
The size of the twist is actually what part of what makes it, right? Yours is sort of like, you have like a little bit like in D&D, you have like a +1 on yours. Maybe you have like a +1.5. This is like a +7. This is a +7.
I would argue that in Usual Suspects, you know some kind of a twist is coming. The brilliance of No Way Out is they go, here's the twist. Oh, no, there's not going to be a twist. Oh, shit, he's stuck in the Pentagon. And then 80 minutes later, after you have forgotten there was a twist introduced, they go, by the way, twist, credits. Fuck you. That's genius. That's everything you want from a story is surprise. That's why we listen to stories, is because we want to be surprised.
You are more surprised when Kaiser Soze walks out of there and he's got that limp and he slowly comes up. Literally, you can feel the audience like rise up in their seats like, oh shit!
You are gratified, not surprised.
Is there a coffee cup smashing at the end of No Way Out? I just want to make sure.
Give me a minute, I'll add one.
No.
Is a barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois? The fucking clues are retarded. The things, pardon my use of that word. But
You didn't just do that. You didn't just do that.
How dare you use the R word? You're going to.
I feel bad about
lost.
it. Hey man, I'm a special education kid. I gotta respect.
Would you like
my
to add anything
roots.
else? Are you good?
No, I have exhausted all effort.
Dan,
Yes.
as I process this, any thoughts?
Well, mainly just thoughts from people on Twitter. Everybody has their favorites. The Mist, The Sixth Sense, Memento, The Original Planet of the Apes, Saw, Fight Club, Lucky Number 11, which is a little more of an obscure one. The one that
Those
I
are
saw,
all different types of twists.
the one that I saw the most, though, that people were the most in favor of was The Empire Strikes Back, Darth Vader, I Am Your Father, just because
Good twist.
the impact of that. The Twitter poll is. It is. I'm sorry to say, Max. The obscure ones always have a tough time on the Twitter
Yeah, I
poll.
know. I remember Kotu's death in Lion King 2. I remember, Dan. I have
So-
PTSD flashbacks.
Psycho and The Usual Suspects are battling it out right now. It's literally tied as I speak on the Twitter poll between our viewers of which one they think is the better movie twist.
Honestly, if this just got more people to see No Way Out, good. That's
Yeah.
a really good movie.
Well,
and I
it's
do.
What a
think
lame
that's
way to
plus.
concede.
They should
Max.
see
No,
all
I'm
three
not
of these movies.
conceding. It's still better than yours.
Well, it sounds a little like you are. But anyway, all three of these are movies, good movies that you should check out, to be fair. Based on the arguments, I gotta say, Robert got a good punch in there with it could be any character, but then I needed a little bit more. And I didn't get it, so it was tougher. Max gave some really strong arguments, even though his movie's less seen. And then you even called David out. But I think David then got you back when we admitted about the size of the twist and the point scale of what yours is worth. That ultimately swayed me at the very end. I got to give David the point for Usual Suspects.
I would have given it to that one. I didn't want to concede too early because I didn't want to lose another point. But
There we go. That was tough, though.
I think I'm right, but I understand your reasoning.
I will say, Max, it's like you knew. Literally, 3 people in our Twitter feed have said that they are watching No Way Out tonight.
It's
that
fun.
haven't seen
It's
it.
a fun
So
movie.
you've
It's
turned some
sexy
people
too.
onto a
It's
new
very
movie.
90s,
There you
but
go.
good and fun.
All right,
but
round
I ruined
4.
the ending.
Yeah, round 4. Still a good movie. Still worth seeing,
Yeah.
as you said. Round 4. This is a fun one. We'll see how this goes. You're going against a very strong pitcher, but hey, you guys make some amazing shows, so let's see what happens here.
Does it have to be a movie? It has to be a movie.
Yeah, well,
It has to be a
let's
movie.
talk
It
about
doesn't have to be a. What are you pitching a breakfast cereal?
Well,
what are you doing?
Leonardo DiCaprio is producing the Captain America movie, so we thought it'd be fun to tell us how you want to pitch this movie and who should play the character. Oh, sorry, what did I say? Captain America. Captain Planet. Captain Planet movie produced by Leonardo DiCaprio because he's big on the environment. This makes sense, right? Who should play Captain Planet and tell us what the movie, the premise of this movie should be. And Max, you're starting us out. And yes, it has to be a movie.
I have
Has
such
to
a
be a
I have such a
It could
great
be a
I have-
franchise.
I have such a great 7-part Netflix pitch for
Or
Captain.
then pitch a trilogy.
Well, I don't want to pitch a whole trilogy, but
Well, just give me the first part of the trilogy.
okay. So first of all,
Did you like Captain Planet?
well, it's a terrible show, which
Did
we
you
all
like
know.
it?
I mean, as a kid.
It's awful.
I gotta say,
the hell
I
is
gotta
Heart?
say, I miss
the hell is Heart?
the most powerful power. It's mind control. Heart, the way Marco is his name, the way he uses it is incredible. He
Oh, well,
can just-
clearly someone has a leg up on like knowing facts about Captain
He's right there.
Marco.
If you'd like to play
Marco?
with him, he's right in the end.
Yeah, I
Captain
don't
Planet
care.
is.
Does it actually stick with you though? Do you
It's-
really
No,
like
no.
Captain Planet.
I like the
actually-
Toxic Crusaders better. Lloyd
Yes,
Kaufman's version.
Toxic Crusaders.
I found-
now
I
you're
found that
talking.
character-
I'm going
films.
to pitch Toxic
Yeah.
Crusaders.
I
I've
found-
changed my
I forgot. I watched Toxic Crusaders recently. I forgot how anti-Semitic the character the Schnoz
Yeah,
is.
that's really bad.
I was like, and it's weird because I'm not like I'm pretty hard to offend. Speaking of hard to offend, have you guys watched Captain America or Captain
Planet?
It's literally like I'm liberal. It's like liberal propaganda for kids.
That's pretty great,
The
yeah.
polluters literally just pollute because they love polluting. They never talk about how many people these people employ.
They're like the
Yeah, they
cavity
never talk
creeps.
about how much money they're saving, the economy.
and they are eco-terrorists.
There's externalities that are not
All right, let's hear your
calculated.
pitch. Let's hear your pitch.
Well, I think the really cool. Oh Jesus, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm making this up as I go along because then people make angry Reddit articles because I'm good at. Do you know about this?
Stay off of Reddit. What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm a millennial, Robert.
Just leave him alone, internet. We love him.
Lord.
What?
I don't think you are.
I'm 31. I'm a millennial.
What is- but-
85.
Yeah,
That makes you a
technically,
millennial?
Yeah,
I'm
It's a
certainly on
wide-
Twitter a
It's
lot.
really
wide,
weird. Gen
yeah.
X is a big one too.
I spend
Anyway.
so much time.
Pitch your
on
movie.
Reddit.
Shut up.
Doesn't he act like a millennial though? I mean,
Pitch your
he's-
movie,
He
Max.
does.
Okay.
He does.
Pitch your movie.
I mean that in the most condescending,
way.
horrible, dismissive way.
They have been bullying me this way for 12 years.
Since you were 7.
You fucking millennial. Can we
The
cuss on
audience
this?
will, the audience will
I
love
didn't
you
check
making
if
fun
we
of
could
Max.
cuss.
This is oh my gosh. This is giving me time to think of something.
Oh fuck! No, go Max, go!
Okay, so I think what yeah, okay.
Losing points.
Shut up. Okay, so I think what you want to do, your road into it can't be chronicle. It can't be what every movie tries to do, where they try to do a grounded, dark version of the thing. Because frankly, with Captain Planet, that would be fucking boring. It doesn't work. It'd be fucking stupid. So what I want to do is something tonally similar to Drag Me to Hell. But I want to do, like, in terms of how silly, the raininess of it all, like a really silly, fun movie about 2 kids who get all 5 rings. They find all 5 rings, let's say, while they're doing... Yeah, okay. One of the kids, Wheeler, wants to meet a girl. So he joins this... He's 18. He joins this, like, summer Greenpeace thing in South America where they're doing brush fire burning, massive forest extermination. And he's doing humanitarian aid there. He meets this girl, Linka. Linka was Wind, right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah, I cannot believe I remember this. But
The Russian one, right?
But he meets other kids on this like Greenpeace away thing, and you have like almost like a Zoolander montage of them becoming friends. Like everybody and like texting. They love teens love texting. We're all texting each other. And like
Millennials, yeah.
But they act like the joke of the movie is they act like the silliest, most cartoonish, brand-oriented version of millennials. The whole movie is almost a joke on Captain Planet. However, once we get there, once we get to South America, we find villages impoverished and choked by smoke in the air. Their water that's become poisonous from massive burn downs. And in the woods one night, after one of the burn downs, Wheeler goes, I need to go out and help because some kids got lost in the woods. And you have like a really great Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 sequence where he goes, I'm going out there. He goes into the woods and in all the brush, in all the fire, he finds this like thing no, not a rock, that's Chronicle.
And looks like
Marshmallow.
Power Rangers.
Marshmallow.
Yeah, and Power Rangers. He finds. Oh no!
Marshmallow.
No, it's inside a tree. It's a giant, like Gaia, like the Earth, right? It's a giant tree that's been burnt, but it's still alive. And he hears crying, and the tree opens, and there are the rings in it. And he takes them, and he accidentally makes the fire 1,000,000 times worse with the fire ring. He's like, oh no! Their whole village gets evacuated, and the 5 of them are left behind. The entire middle of the movie is trying to figure out what the rings are. We, of course, know that in this mythology they're elemental representations of the earth.
Of course.
That have been totems.
Earth, wind,
water,
fire,
I just went so
fart.
easy. That have been totems since maybe like the ancient times. These were the things that the people used to use. Many of the major religions were founded off encounters with even just one of these rings. And meanwhile, you have people who are like, if there are still kids in these woods, when they go through, they're going to see that these fires were intentionally set. So you have a Blackwater-style team of mercenaries, who, by the way, are done like the guys from Predator. Like, they're totally like, hey, I'm sexual Tyrannosaurus. I'm down to shoot me an American teenager. You know, just like...
Sorry, sexual what?
Tyrannosaurus.
That's what I thought you said.
yeah.
Okay.
It's a reference to the film Alien. Anyway, so...
Where we go? Where's Captain Planet come in, and who is he?
Okay, so finally, near the end of the movie, after they've individually used the rings, each of them choosing one that suits their personality or just in the moment, and they've become better friends, they are confronted by the team of mercenaries. They are almost killed. They've been chased. Now the team of mercenaries is like, they have some sort of weapon. They got some sort of super weapon out there. These kids are not unarmed. They lifted up our car just by pointing at it. They summon this fucking... I don't think Captain Planet's in it. Oh no, he is.
Bold.
Okay. So the end of the movie is they finally, while trying to defend themselves from an onslaught of the mercenaries, who, by the way, now are supported by the government of the tiny South American republic they're in, are because these kids are like terrorists. They're eco-terrorists. You know, what are they doing? They accidentally cross the streams and summon Captain Planet. And we've heard his voice maybe a couple times at different points in the movie when they use the ring, like warning them, maybe through the Heart Kid. And so he's been speaking to them, and when they see the animals covered in ash, like you have this fun movie that still has these incredibly emotional images in it because you're dealing with environmental stuff. And then at the end of the movie, they summon Benedict Cumberbatch accidentally, because what you need for a modern thank you, Robert. You knocked him off the table. Because what you need for a modern Captain Planet is for him to both feel alien and him to have real heart emotion. He comes down, he annihilates all of the fucking terrorists, or not terrorists, but what were they? They were mercenaries. And
Releasing carbon?
What?
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, and he does a thing where he goes, yeah, like that, and sucks everything in. He doesn't say almost any lines of dialogue when he's actually there. He's like, it's like they summoned a god. And he brings all the forests back to life. It's incredible and beautiful. And then the mercenaries get all swayed by the heart ring. No one gets killed, but they realize what they're doing is wrong. The one person who doesn't get swayed is like, you motherfucker, like, I'm not afraid of you. We were trying to get this special toxic stuff that we were trying to hide by burning the woods so that we could hide this carbon output thing. He falls into it and he gets mutated into that villain from the series,
Yep.
the pig guy at the end of the movie. And the kids are like, we go back to America. Are we still going to do this? And then the end of the movie is another one of those stupid montages where they're like best friends driving around like a 1988 Corvette. And they're all like, woo! Now I want to see that movie.
Okay, bold choices. I agree.
I'm going next.
David, you want to go next?
I'm going next.
All right.
So, you'll be all right. So first of all, I just want to say my pitch is not going to be as long or as involved in that because I cannot be bothered to put that level of effort into something like this, which is why if anyone on the internet is hating on Good Max Landis over here, you should go fuck yourself, because everybody wants people in this industry to be passionate about things and passionate about the things that they do. And the level of passion that comes out of this man for every single thing that he does, no matter how fucking stupid it is absolutely inspiring.
Here,
and everyone,
all of YouTube listening, my God, back off.
Please, Max Landis. Amazing work.
Leave me alone.
That's a good tactic.
Thank you. So, my movie, because I don't care about Captain Planet at all, is one of the. It's going to be a meta thing where I'm going to try and be like one of those Hollywood suits that like tries to make a movie out of a beloved children's thing that has in no way any business doing that. DiCaprio's starring in this fucking movie. Like,
He's Captain Planet?
No, he is Captain Planet, but there's no Captain Planet in this movie. It's Leonardo DiCaprio is a Captain Planet fan. He grew up in the 80s. He loves him some fucking Captain Planet. It has inspired his life.
He's not playing himself.
No.
Okay, got it.
No, he's playing Leonardo
Somebody else.
DiCappuccino. So he, I can do things on the fly too, Max. Are you impressed? So, I actually thought about this a little bit last night. I should reveal. But anyway, so he becomes basically like some kind of he's like an activist. He's like a lobbyist. He decides to take the 5 biggest corporations in the world, and he is going to infiltrate them to readjust their business tactics to be Earth friendly as opposed to Earth damaging. And so he finds a corporation that represents the heart of the world and the wind power and Earth and whatever the fuck the other ones were, like a fireplace or whatever. And he tries to work through these massive corporations in order to save the planet. In honor of Captain Planet, which he grew up loving. He ends up, there's a collusion thing where all of these corporations are working together, and even though they're working together for good, that's still technically illegal. So there's a big court battle in Act 3, and he fucking goes to jail. And so the movie ends with him in jail, but he has inspired other people at these corporations to continue running them separately in the way that he wanted to do. So it saves the Earth. Fucking saves the Earth. DiCaprio wins, even though he's in jail at the end of the movie. And then he gets, at the very end of the movie, he gets out of jail and he goes back to his apartment and he's revealed to be a Russian spy.
So more of a dramatic take.
It's grounded,
yeah.
Dramatic, serious DiCaprio.
But
Scorsese directing, Max Landis writing.
He becomes his own version of Captain Planet.
Yeah, it's the Captain Planet movie that wins an Oscar.
Captain Michael Clayton.
Yeah, okay, got it. Interesting. David, no pressure.
I mean, look, those are two immense movies to sort of go after, and I'm the only non-writer here, so I just want to put that out there. I feel a severe handicap and disadvantage. So
and now wins, sir.
So, I think that we're going to start big here. Right, so we're going to start out in space. So there's an epic shot of their solar system, and we're going to slowly zoom in. And as we come down to the third rock from the sun, we're going to see Earth, and we're going to see it sort of in a time-lapse photography type way. We're going to see sort of the ice ages bring us up through the industrial age, and we're going to see sort of the poles start to melt a little bit as we see man start discovering coal and iron and all this sort of industry start coming up, and we're going to see the Earth change, and we're going to see it's getting a little sick. It's going to be like we're going to know something's wrong, and we're going to fast forward a little bit to sort of the height of the industrialist era, when there's these giant ships out on the ocean, these giant metal ships that are belching coal into the atmosphere left and right, and we're going to come to the biggest one of all time, the Titanic. Right, so we're going to be on Titanic, and we're going to have a young Leonardo DiCaprio, played by young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh my God!
On the boat, right? And they're going to be there, and they're going to be falling in love, and all this stuff, and you're going to be like, "What the fuck? This is Titanic, right? I'm watching Titanic." And then they're going to hit the iceberg, and when they hit the iceberg, they're going to unlock water. That water guy is going to come out, right? And there's going to be fire on the ship. And that's going to summon the fire guy. There's dirt where they're growing plants and stuff.
That's
on the Titanic, because that happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm with it.
Deleted scenes. So all these guys are going to come out.
And the ship elemental power of Billy Zane.
Well, we said hair is the power. So he's the opposite. He's the opposite of that. So what happens now, they're all sort of
If that necklace from the movie isn't the heart gem, then I'm going to be...
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course it is. So they're all going out there. But the boat is still going down. Right, so they're looking for Jack. Jack is sort of in trouble. He's trying to save her, and they send back on shortwave radio. They send back a message like, "Help! We're SOS. We're in trouble. Like things are going bad." And then we cut to in just outside of London, a sort of an old abandoned looking flat, and we cut inside, and there's a guy there manning there in a sort of tattered trench coat, and that turns out to be Captain Planet Liam Neeson.
Oh.
And he answers the shortwave radio thing because it's like a phone, but it's older. And he answers it, and he says, and they said that they're looking. Leonardo DiCaprio says, "We're looking for a man with a special set of skills to save the planet."
Oh, I see what you did there.
Thank you. Thank you. So he then he Captain Planets over to the Titanic. Right?
I'm sorry. I just picture this being a movie that a producer made by finding footage from unfinished movies and pasting it together into a watchable movie.
I love that he used Captain Planet as a verb. He Captain Planets on over to the Titanic.
That's what you do.
Yeah,
that's what you do
for Captain Planet.
So they all come together on the ship, but the ship still goes down. But this time he saves Leonardo DiCaprio, and Leonardo DiCaprio then leads a cause, and he sets up a whole nonprofit to save the world, and the world is saved.
All right, guys.
Just so I'm clear, your movie is an hour and a half of the movie Titanic.
Well, it's Tree of Life before that.
Wait, with Tree of Life at the beginning, then an hour and a half into Titanic, a bunch of people appear on the ship.
It ends. It ends. No,
Neeson.
hold on. And then it ends though. As do you ever see On Deadly Ground, the Steven Seagal movie?
Oh, yeah. That's
and
a
you know at
classic.
the end where he comes out and he gives the 5-minute speech
Yeah.
about Native American oil workers and the damage that's being done to the environment. That's how we end the movie. But instead of Steven Seagal, who's there also as a bad guy, we have Leonardo DiCaprio.
All right. Let's do one quick argument here. Go ahead, Max. Thoughts?
My movie's awesome.
My movie's awesome.
Is anyone
by the way,
going to
my-
admit and buy tickets to any other person's movie?
I
on
just
this
want to say
table?
my movie's directed by James Cameron.
Oh, that's how you're getting the footage.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
You need to clarify that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
He's attached.
Would you buy a ticket to either of these movies, Robert?
I see a lot of movies, and my standards aren't very high, so I would buy a ticket to both of these movies.
Okay.
I don't know
you
that
said-
I'd be that excited to buy a ticket to Max's, but I
I think the moment I saw the trailer for yours and it was like Captain Planet and it's just Leonardo DiCaprio, old, bloated, sweating, and talking to me about the environment, I don't want to see an Inconvenient Truth again. I don't. If there's a Captain Planet movie, it can't be a message movie.
horse shit.
You think I do want to see an Inconvenient Truth again?
Yes,
And what
you
about
do.
David's? Do
You
you
are
want to see
one
David's?
bad
Everyone.
hombre.
I think everyone.
I mean,
You do, Max.
that's two things. Two things.
Max, you do want to see my movie.
You said two things.
You want to see my movie.
Two
Answer
things.
the question.
First of all, if you don't want to see David's movie, you're insane.
Exactly.
But-
I'm wholeheartedly
But-
on board
but-
for that.
But mine was the best, and mine is something that they won't make because they will. If there is a Captain Planet movie, it'll be some sort of like self-serious fucking garbage thing, and they will waste another big property.
Okay,
I
great.
said, look,
Final thought. Go ahead.
Big property.
Here's the thing.
Captain Planet's a big property.
All
Look,
right.
I love
Great.
Robert. I don't even understand what his pitch was. Like, so I just I don't have a response. I just don't.
Leonardo
I don't have a
DiCaprio
response.
sweating in an office.
I don't know what it was.
5 corporations saving the planet.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
it's your.
And there's a legal battle at the end of that. Is what I wrote down.
Sorry, I don't even know what to say to that. I'm sorry. That's you have had better pitches. That's a Max. When
I don't think I have.
It's possible.
He's about to quit The Walking Dead, bro.
Make that. Yeah.
Max's movie, he has Captain Planet sort of annihilate a bunch of mercenaries, which, by the way, as we all know, releases a bunch of carbon into the atmosphere, which is antithetical to what Captain Planet would do. And I was just like, he doesn't even understand what Captain Planet's all about.
He scares the mercenaries and then they turn good. He doesn't hurt them. And then he brings the forest back, which gets rid of the carbon. In your movie, why didn't she let Leonardo DiCaprio up on the door?
Well, he did. He
I just want to
survived
say,
in his movie.
I just want to
He
say,
does survive in his movie.
because Captain Planet saves
Yeah.
him. But I've seen Titanic, and I actually have some problems with Titanic. I'd like to bring up to
Oh,
you
no,
now
no,
and
no.
discuss
No,
with
we're
you.
not doing that. We're not doing
Because
that.
your
No, no,
movie
no,
has
no,
all
no, no, no,
Titanic's
no, no, no.
problems.
No,
Who
no,
here
no.
wants to watch the first hour of Titanic again, people?
It's all the best parts.
Let's go, Robert Kirkman. What thoughts? Final thoughts here on these
I
arguments.
think that my movie's the most well thought out one. I think that it's the one that holds together the most as a movie. I think his was a bunch of nonsense scenes, and this guy was just, I mean, I don't even know what the hell that was. No offense,
you
but I'm
took
just
my argument.
repeating
You took
the
my
argument
Yeah,
that
that's-
you said about my brilliant
Your movie's
masterpiece.
nonsense.
And if you I'm fucking talking here.
I'm letting you
Hold
finish.
off. I'm done now.
Dan.
Yes.
I don't know how the hell I'm doing this one. But go
I
ahead.
have so many Captain
They're all
Planet.
terrible. You son of a. Where's Captain Planet at?
I have
round
so
took way
many
too long.
Captain Planet related fact checking to do on this round. Well, first of all, non-Captain Planet related, sexual Tyrannosaurus was uttered by Jesse the Body
Ventura
Ventura
in the movie Predator.
And Predator.
I
I
know
thought it was
it's me
Predator.
saying Alien was a deliberate joke because I thought you guys watched movies.
The 5 powers from Captain America were Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, and Heart. Mati was the bearer of the Heart Ring. He did use telepathy to communicate, and he could control people, but he didn't like doing it. He had ethics, much like I guess everything else on Captain Planet. I don't know. Linka, Max, you got some props. Linka was the bearer of the Wind Ring. She was originally Soviet, but then they changed that to Eastern European after that.
I
wasn't
remember when
relevant
her and
anymore.
Wheeler kissed.
I mean, who could forget?
That was a
the,
big
uh,
Wheeler, right? She had the.
The pig guy's name was Hoggish Greedley.
That's
He
right.
was voiced by Ed Asner on the.
and played by Rush Limbaugh.
Don't get political.
So there you go.
So while you're over there on your laptop, though,
Yes.
did anyone from DiCaprio's company contact you about my pitch?
I have not yet gotten any tweets from DiCaprio's company, but James Cameron, I know, is busy shooting
5 avatars.
5 avatars.
Okay.
Well, everybody
so,
wants to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, DiCaprio's company has not yet reached out, but I will stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
They're calling. They're calling.
Just based on the passion, I gotta give it to Max.
I don't think that's right.
I mean,
I honestly,
I couldn't disagree with that more.
I disagree entirely.
I don't really want to see Inconvenient Truth. He said that, and then I don't know. I mean, I would watch David's, but
Oh, come on! You would not only
Max gets it.
You've known me for 12 years.
Yes.
You've seen me do the thing where I make up a movie from nothing, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I did that on this show, and they were like, he must have planned that for months. And
It's all conspiracy.
it's all
rigged.
conspiracy. Yeah,
It's all
I
rigged.
remember Milk Duds.
It's all rigged.
I remember Milk Duds.
Show's rigged. We knew the winner in advance.
No, Max.
Max,
You can't beat Max Landis at pitching.
Max,
It's
they
fine.
don't like you on Twitter because you say things like, I thought you guys knew movies. You guys stop saying things like that.
I used the R word. I made fun of the audience.
No, but we love you, Max. That's why you're here.
Nasty
Passion.
woman. Nasty
That's why you got the point, because it was definitely the most passionate of those. It was a good attempt.
Just sit up straight and have some confidence, for fuck's sake.
Round 5. This is it. This is the mother daddy of all fights.
The fight to tie Max Landis. This is so exciting.
Whoever ties Max Landis will go in the speed round for the final winner here. What is, unless he gets the point, then we'll go with tiebreaker. What is the best movie based on a graphic novel? Woo! This is intense. And David, you're up first. What is the best movie based on a graphic novel?
All right, so I'm trying to figure out how do you evaluate that, because there's so many
Exactly.
different types of movies that are based on graphic novels. There's so many different types of graphic novels that became this. So I really was trying to figure out, and so what I looked for was trying to figure out which of these sort of took the most obscure graphic novel and made it the biggest sort of cultural phenomenon. And so I went with The Crow. Arguably, I could have gone Men in Black. Arguably, I could have gone with Ghost World, but I didn't do that. I went with The Crow because I feel like The Crow was sort of this really sort of dark little indie thing that had, it's great. It's a great little comic book, but it didn't really have. Seeing something in there to turn that into sort of a franchise movie was kind of gigantic. On top of that, you get this whole thing. It's all about goth and sort of coming back with death and sort of trying to find your connection to love and life and all these things. And then the lead of the movie gets shot and killed during the filming of the movie, and they still finish the movie, which, if you think about it in a meta way, actually connects to what the comic and movie is about in a sense that just blew me away more than anything possible. Because how could you actually say this is a movie about coming back from life and death, and the guy dies in the movie and they still finish the movie? I just don't think it's possible.
It's almost like they did it on purpose, right?
It feels that way. So I just don't think
I'm
it's
not part
possible.
of this. The main actor died, so the movie's great is the darkest argument I've ever heard.
argument.
It's strong argument.
We produced The Walking Dead, man. Just calm down. It's all good. It's
Anyway,
all good.
So that's my argument for The Crow.
All right. Wow. Robert, what's your pick?
I'm going to change my answer to The Crow, but I just wish more real people had died in the making of it. Poor Captain
Planet's
Planet.
back.
I tell you.
How did he come back?
He's
Did
trying
you
to get
reach
me
him?
now.
I didn't notice that.
It's
That was
magic.
magic.
It's magic.
Because he's on the Titanic.
No, I do want to say there are a lot better movies based on comic books, but a lot of those comic book based movies aren't based on a story from the comic book. There's a lot of great comic book movies that are based on a character from a comic book, but so mine was 300 because 300 follows the comic book very closely. It's great visually. It's a really simple story that I think is easy to translate to movies, and I really like that movie. It's really good. Also, seeing Frank Miller's art come alive, the way that it works in that movie, but I don't know. I feel like doesn't really work in the Sin City movies so much. It created almost a genre in and of itself. There were a lot of imitators that came from 300, and so I think it gets some points for that. And also, Gerard Butler died immediately after filming that movie, and so I think
many
that
abs.
You're hating on a black and white, though, with black and white movies.
I'm not
Sin
hating
City.
on black and white at all. I just think that the way
work.
the Sin City stuff looks weird.
Max, what's your pick?
Jesus. I remember on
Life and Death.
On Me, Him, Her,
and Death.
Angela fell down during the sword fight and hurt her knee. And her hurting her knee, people getting killed on movie sets is no joke. But it was the most scared I've ever been in my life. I was like, oh my God. And then she was like, I'll finish. If you've ever seen Angela, she's giant eyes. I'll finish the scene. But
Westworld, right?
Yeah, Westworld.
Sure.
And she's a genius. But no, amazing film, 300. Really amazing film. really cool.
Are you baiting me for something?
Real cool.
That's what he does.
You
I'm
got to do yours. What's
just-
your
hey,
movie?
Is the
Okay,
internet
I
crucifying
think-
us for that Brandon Lee stuff? I'm a little
think-
worried here.
I think
Are we
The
okay?
Crow is
No, I haven't seen too much yet.
Great.
No.
The Crow, I think, is a great movie, a really great movie, a really fun 90s
What's your movie? Say your movie. You can't
My
just spit
movie,
on
my
something.
movie is the best movie based on a graphic novel, and that would be Ghost World.
Oh, I thought you said The Crow.
No, Ghost World Ghost World comes together as a movie every bit as good as the graphic novel. And the graphic novel is a collection from Daniel Close. It's also closer to an actual graphic novel than your choice, David, but not yours, Robert.
I don't. That's factually inaccurate.
Beginning, middle, end is to me what a graphic novel is, and not a trade paperback of an ongoing comic.
Graphic
Crow
novel
was
is-
an ongoing comic.
Graphic novel's a marketing term. It's not actually a thing.
It is actually a thing.
No, it's not a thing.
It is actually a thing.
not.
Yes, it is.
Robert.
Technically, it's a thing.
Thank you, God.
But you're somewhat right, because most graphic novels these days,
trade
like
paperbacks.
you would say Watchmen is a graphic novel. Everyone on the planet will refer to Watchmen as a graphic novel. It's a collection of comic books.
Yeah, but
So-
it did.
So
It
was
had a
The Walking
definite
Dead- is The Walking Dead a
endpoint.
comic book?
The first Crow did have a definite endpoint.
Oh, then
It
we're
wasn't until the movie that they started
then-
continuing.
Then I guess all of us are right, and we're also all friends, and we all work together.
So nice. So I win, right? Did I win? Did I
No,
win?
Ghost World.
I win, right?
Ghost World's the best one. It has the most real emotion. It's the most nuanced movie. 300 is a beautiful piece of art, but it's also sexist and weird, and there are parts of it that are just stupid. The characters are deeply unlikable. Every choice they make is because they're macho assholes, and that's fun if you want to do that, but eventually it disinvests you from the movie, and you're just like, I don't care what the fuck happens to these guys. And ultimately, the end of that movie where they all die, it feels like they just couldn't think of a better ending. And The Crow, while really fun, just flat out isn't as good as Ghost World. Ghost World is
Does
like
Scarlett
soul
Johansson
food.
die? Seriously.
Please stop.
Dan, she doesn't, right?
Now I'm getting uncomfortable. I apologize for encouraging that at the beginning.
Yeah, no one died. Everyone had a really good time.
All right,
good
Ghost
go-
World versus The Crow versus 300.
So here's what I would say. I think 300 is one of the best graphic novels of all time, and I actually think the movie, while a fun movie, isn't actually as good of a movie as 300 is as a graphic novel. I think The Crow is a better movie than it is a graphic novel, which I think is rare. And I think also means Ghost World. I think Ghost World is I'd say the same. I actually like the
movie better.
Yeah, the movie. I think they're on par, like the movie and the graphic novel. Whereas I think The Crow is actually so much superior. The movie is so far superior to the actual comic that it's hard to sort of even make an argument that anything else could compare.
I call that American psychoing, where the adaptation's better than the original.
Yeah.
The Fight Club also. Although if you watch Fight Club now, it feels like the movie just was produced by Hot Topic in 2004. It's like it's still great, but it's like, yo man, fuck IKEA, and your parents tell you how to dress. It's like, okay. It feels like 4chan like exploded into its own movie in the coolest way possible.
I still like that scene though, where like the little things pop up.
No, it's a great
Robert,
movie.
thoughts?
I regret agreeing with DA when he was talking about Brandon Lee dying.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Do you think 300 is a better comic, or do you think it's a better movie?
Well, it's definitely flawed in some of the ways that Max pointed out. I'll admit to that, but it's still got some awesome action scenes, and it's got a great cast. It's got an amazing cast.
But is it a better comic or movie?
The tone
Is it a
has
better
changed
comic or
in this
movie?
room.
You know. Oh, sorry. Fuck you all. It's the best movie ever. I fucking love it. And it's got all kinds of abs. And I think the ending is great when they all die, because that's shocking, right? You're like, it's essentially a sports movie.
Oh, wait,
where the team is going up against like the best basketball
The
team in the
creator
world.
of The Walking Dead
and then
thinks
they-
it's rewarding, satisfying, and shocking when
I
characters
enjoy
die.
I enjoy my tropes. I'm sorry. There's a reason I write the things that I do. I mean,
You're eating out of a bowl. bowl, a heated bowl with steam coming off it that says Matropes.
Yeah.
And down with a big bowl of Matropes.
Skybound is actually going to be producing a new breakfast cereal called Matropes.
Jude, you got that?
We're announcing
You got
it
that?
here.
All right.
Does it have
So-
a picture of a Matropes? Does it have a picture of a badass girl with a samurai sword on the front of
It's
it?
just a bunch of
No,
little marshmallow
the extra,
Brandon Lee
extra
heads.
action figure.
Let's
getting
go
the
around then. I
box.
guess
that's just
let's get
missing
final
everyone.
thoughts on this.
Right.
I'm trying to listen to the actual reasons here. Ghost World.
Ghost World's
Ghost World. It's tough. This one's tough.
Ghost World-
Extremely tough.
Ghost
World is better than 300 and Crow because what?
Is the best and
Again,
most,
best movie.
best
based on-
and most complete of these three movies. The Crow is really fun, but it's ultimately a dated 90s action movie with some great scenes. Ghost World is like
You can't say dated 90s action movie as a put down because there is no such thing as a dated 90s action movie. They're all awesome.
When's the last time you saw Last Boy Scout? I mean, like it's
awesome.
fun. It's fun.
Still
but
awesome.
Someone is going to get punched. Sorry.
Okay, no. I just think Ghost World's the best of. The
We do
movies.
actually fight on this at some point, right? I was
Yes,
hoping that-
afterwards.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
I would hope
Thank
so.
you.
Off camera.
Any other thoughts?
That's
David?
why have you never seen Spencer J. Gilbert again?
Okay, look, I love
He was
Ghost
just with
World.
Benedict Cumberbatch yesterday.
I love Ghost World because
Gross.
it really had some great emotions and it introduced Scarlett Johansson to the world, which I think is sort of they deserve kudos for doing that. But ultimately, it's like it's like a fun little indie movie, and other than it's based on a comic book and it introduced ScarJo, like you wouldn't really sort of be talking about it today. 300, I actually love that graphic novel. It's
I win.
amazing. But
It's a graphic novel.
the graphic novel is amazing, but I honestly feel like the movie really takes it a step down for the reasons that Max was pointing out. Like there's a few panels in that comic that sort of make the hair on the back of my neck stand up. They go around, they're talking like, oh, what do you do? They're like, oh, we're bakers, and like, oh, what do you do? Like, oh, we're thespians. Oh, what do you do? Like, we're farmers. And they turn to the 300 Spartans. He goes, what do you do? And they just raise their spears and they go, huh! And that Frank Miller art like jumps off the page, and then you put it into the movie, and it becomes this sort of like this machismo, sort of homophobic, sort of like vaguely racist thing.
All right.
And ultimately,
All
like,
right.
I just look at that. I'm like, I just don't know that. Like, even though it looks cool, I just don't know that I can really do anything with it. Whereas The Crow, I feel like it's got really deep emotions. It sort of introduced an entire new sort of look and feel to sort of major motion pictures, which hadn't been done before, and sort of took that sort of is it sort of now become familiar? It's so familiar today because it was so huge and successful and important back in the 90s.
Emily Carmichael should be on this show.
First of
Give
all,
me
I
your
never
vote.
saw 300 as being homophobic because I just figured they were all having sex with each other in between the fights. I mean,
It feels both
misogynistic. I'll take.
It feels
but-
both simultaneously homophobic and also like
homoerotic.
the gayest movie ever made.
Yeah,
It's doing
yeah.
both at once.
But
at
Ghost,
That's what we said in an honest trailer. Yeah.
Ghost World has far less fighting, and The Crow has far less abs. So I think that I win.
All right. You said your final thoughts.
Yeah.
Dan,
Yes.
anything to add before I make a verdict here?
Just a few
I
things.
just want to add that The Crow actually has more abs than 300. But
I haven't done an ab count, but the discussion about the graphic novel, these actually all three were serialized prior to being published in graphic novels. Just further reinforces the kind of hazy nature between the two, is kind of
it's not a
interchangeably.
thing.
It
I
is
would
a thing.
also.
It's a thing.
I would also like to point out that we will be unbiased, even though Ghost World stars our mortal enemy Steve Buscemi,
Yeah.
who stole our Emmy.
Stole our Emmy.
Yeah, he did.
Damn
You guys
Buscemi.
didn't win the Emmy?
Steve Buscemi's AOL series. Park
He didn't
Bench.
steal our Emmy.
A very
He won
popular
it.
Park Bench series.
Guys,
won it for-
honestly,
You can't support him.
But I like Steve Buscemi.
honestly,
I'm not
to
gonna
me,
shit on Steve
honestly,
no,
to
fuck
me,
him. You guys should have won.
fuck Steve
Steve
Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Fuck Steve
What else do you
Buscemi.
need, Steve Buscemi? What else do you need?
When's the last time Steve Buscemi
He
has
wasn't
delivered
there.
content?
He
on the
wasn't
level
there. He
of
was
Honest
doing a
Trailer?
9/11
Come on.
memorial. So
Yeah,
the Emmys.
I used to be a fireman.
So-
Give him all the Emmys. Fuck that.
To be fair, we lost our Emmy to a legitimate American hero. So if you're gonna lose to
Did he get the
On
Emmy for
9/11.
being an American hero? I don't think he got the Emmy for being an American hero.
Yeah, it was the Emmy for Best Web Content, which has very little to do with
my
being an
favorite,
American
my
hero.
favorite Buscemi thing is what is it?
This
Chicks
is
with
the-
Buscemi eyes. That's the funnest.
Buscemi
This
eyes,
is the
yes.
darkest episode of Honest Trailer.
All right,
whatever
well,
the fuck this is.
It is a dark. But here's
know what he's on.
based on the arguments. I gotta go.
Hey, I didn't remember Norman Bates earlier.
I gotta go with the dark point that I think even blew everyone away. The fact that David did point out the meta-ness of how that actually made that film strangely more emotional was the best thing I heard.
I'm not
The
on board
whole
with this.
thing.
Max, let's go.
I want to say, give him the point, but as someone, I'm going to say this out loud.
Applause.
I'm out.
Am I out?
No, I mean, it's a terrible thing, but it's an emotional movie, and I think
I'm gonna say this.
I was glad we could get the tribute of Brendan Lee in that movie because he didn't get to do a lot of great movies and tragic loss, and we got to see him in that film.
I also like
and it's more emotional because of it.
This episode of Movie Fights that is a tribute to Brandon Lee as well.
It is.
I'm gonna say that as someone for whom death on a film set played a major role in my life.
I honestly, I thought of that after I made the argument.
Yeah, that was like a major role in my life and haunts and follows, it's a tragedy and rings on to this day. I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't think people dying makes a movie better. I think it's really bad that when people try to create art together, sometimes people get
it's
hurt.
only because, can I
Yes, of course.
Like, so the main thing is, I only got to argue The Crow because you took Ghost World first, and we did a coin toss before the show, and I was supposed to get Ghost World, but you had won the coin toss.
So it's all a bitter trick to screw you.
So it's all your
really
fault. It's all your fault. I once did.
No one's supporting anything.
I have never been legitimately horrified on a web show before.
Yeah.
You're not going to see it right now, but you'll see
we're
it
not
on my
supporting
Twitter
it,
later.
Max. We're not supporting it. It's a beautiful film, though, and I'm glad we got to see the film. It didn't make it better. It just...
Have we mentioned Green Valley?
All right, so that means, David, you're going against Max.
This has been
in
an emotional,
yeah,
wild
it's
ride
really intense.
for me.
A great episode, though. You guys were
we
all
really bring
fantastic. Here's how it works. David, you made it to the end. Robert, you're not in the end, but kudos. Fantastic
I refuse
job.
to concede. I'm still going to the end.
No, but I would thank you for coming. You're going to help me now judge this final. You're going to be able to pick. It's
I like
like
that.
Survivor. You get to help now be the
I
jury.
like judging. Something
And I
do
want
well.
to say, I don't think I mentioned before, you're going to be on our show, Knocking Dead, Monday at
Yes.
10 a.m. We're coming back with you.
Very excited about that.
Since Walking Dead's airing Sunday, we're going to be talking about it Monday, and I'm so honored to have you. You can call in and talk to him and us about after we've all watched the premiere Sunday, and I'm excited for it. So thank you for doing that.
And so Walking Dead's on Sunday. Is there something on Saturday?
Saturday is
Shameless promotion.
Dirk Gently. I'm so excited to see this. Honestly, both. This is going to be a good weekend of TV.
Which one are you more excited for, if you're honest?
Probably Green Valley.
Probably Dirk. Is it Dirk?
Probably
It's fine
Green
if it's
Valley.
Dirk. Dirk's new.
I don't have to make
Season
that
7 of
choice.
Walking Dead. How are you still excited? It's got to be Dirk, right? It's got to be Dirk.
Is there? Can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. I've asked you
Please
this
do.
before in different ways.
Well, then I hope that
Is it a
it's
quick
really
question?
awkward and something
Yeah,
I hope
it's-
you're not asking me on a live
It's
web show.
No, Lord knows. My,
Where are babies from?
my soul has been ravaged by this episode of Movie Fights. And
I
don't-
apologize for
No,
that. It wasn't my fault, though.
You're welcome.
I complimented you earlier, so I
You
hope
wanna
that
just do
that's
a
the
speed round, or you
upside.
wanna
of
ask
this.
a
No,
question?
I do. I want to ask you something.
Sure.
I've asked you versions of this in the past. Are we ever gonna get like past zombies? Are we gonna ever see anything else on the show?
Oh, I can't answer that.
Because I want there to be like.
There sure ain't a whole lot of zombies in the comic at this point. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Walkers, Max.
There's
Well, the recent issues,
I was gonna say recently
But-
you got a bunch of them.
it's a whole thing. Don't worry.
Why do they call them walkers on the show and not zombies like
I'm
you
gonna
do?
answer that now.
Do you
talk
remember?
about that
Do you
later.
remember the big pitch I made for the reveal?
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
of course. What is it?
It's really short. It was just that they finally get like to New York, and New York's fine,
Oh.
and the entire outbreak had been contained to the American South, and they're letting.
This is your
people in.
final, like, that's how it all ends?
No. I wanted the comic to go on because then we're in a world that has like 5 infected zones, and it's like most of Rick's family is still alive. They just haven't seen him in 4 or 5 years. And it's like, how do you come back? You are now a person. There's a government subsidy for people who are in the disaster, who've made it to the safe zone. And the remaining group slowly splits apart, like Lost almost, but better. And then, you either have it be like, the infection gets out again, or you have it be like, hey, we left a bunch of people in there. And they go, well, you can't go back in. And Rick's like, can't I? And then it's the stakes completely change.
He's smiling. He likes it.
I like it. It's cool.
I remember I pitched you that.
Yeah, no, I remember it now. Yeah, I've often joked about like Australia.
Yeah, it's
Like,
fine.
There's fine. There's fine. Hasn't gotten down here, mate. That's my Australian accent.
Everybody's surfing.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Blimey, the rest of the world is
We're going to the
gone
speed round to
shit.
see who wins this. So wait, am I right? Are they tied? They are, right?
2-2.
Yeah, we're tied.
what are we doing in the
Did
speed
it.
round?
So here's how it works. I'm
What
going
do
to
we
have
do?
5 extra questions to get 5 extra points.
I'm worried.
Robert and Dan are my co-judges here. We will together listen to the arguments, Robert, based on the arguments, not what you like.
Yeah, okay.
Based on what they say. You have 5 chances here to get another point.
I don't have to go
point each.
faster than him.
You will. It's speed round. So here's how it works. I'm going to ask you a question, and then the first one actually is a bargain bin. You're going to see a picture. Don't show it yet, but we're going to see a picture on that screen of 2 DVDs that fans send in, and you have to tell us which one should we buy. Now, whoever says their choice first gets that choice. If you said it a little later, you're going to have to pick the other choice. Does that make sense?
Sure.
All right, and then what do you do with it?
You will then get 20 seconds. You'll be timed as
DVD.
tell us why we should buy that DVD over the other one. You'll then have 20 seconds to argue. The time will start when you begin speaking, and then you'll hear a ding when you have to stop speaking. And then you'll have each 20 seconds, then you'll have 10-second rebuttals. It'll make sense as we go.
Don't feel so bad about losing now.
No pressure. Max has done this, but Max has messed up some of these.
Yeah, and also I've never done
Changes the
this
game.
thing. with
Here we
the
go.
TV
So
here.
bargain bin. Stare at the TV. It's going to come in a second. Which of these 2 DVDs should we buy? You want to answer quick.
South Park the movie.
Okay. Max got South Park.
Damn it. He's louder.
I did hear South Park first from Max with Team America, another great film. For, David, so you'll have a second to think. Max said it first, so he has to go first. You'll have 20 seconds when you begin speaking, Max.
South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut is one of the best animated films of all time. It holds up, it's hilarious, it's heartfelt, it's touching, it has a wonderful message about friendship and incredible songs. It's just great. It's just a great film. Genius. Incredible. It's better than Team America World Police by a lot. Team America World Police is weird and is funny, but ultimately has like a weird mixed political message.
Time. There we go. Time starts when you begin speaking of why we should buy Team America over South Park.
Puppets fucking. That's it.
You lose.
Bold move. You still have time. Would you like to say anything else?
I yield my time.
Okay. He's calling puppets fucking. You got 10 seconds to rebut that, Max.
Despite having a collection of great moments, Team America World Police does not hold up in today's political climate and is just not as good as South Park the movie.
Okay. You have 10 seconds rebuttal.
I think I know what's coming.
Puppets fucking.
End time. Okay. There we go. Robert, we get to come to you first based on the arguments.
This episode is fucked up, bro.
I think it's really difficult to.
Wait, you based it on his
Based on the, no, I'm
I'm voting. I get a vote. I get
Calm
a vote.
down.
Max, you have no idea what I'm going to say next.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Anyway, the arguments were both very well-rounded and very convincing. It's very hard to choose between the two, but I spend more time with Mr. Alpert, so I'm just going to choose Team America.
Wow. Okay. Bold enough statement that got his vote. Dan, based on the
There's no
arguments.
integrity here, Max. Calm down.
David's argument was nuanced, but I'm going to side with Max. I think he
I'm
brought
going to side with
a lot
Max.
of extra points to the table.
Max gets the first
horseshit.
point. Okay.
I disagree with that.
Here we go.
I think-
Question.
I
Ready
think
for the
it's
next
just
one.
terrible.
Again, now you want to speak quickly?
I'm not going to abide by these results.
Here we go. Best movie featuring, I'm going to tell you now, it's a broad question. Best movie featuring Tom Hardy in any role.
Lock.
I'm blanking.
Tom Hardy.
Star Trek Nemesis.
He's an Inception.
He is an Inception.
Inception.
Didn't choose Mad Max.
I didn't say that, Mad Max. What did you pick? You picked.
Yeah.
Lock.
Fury Road, man.
Lock, baby.
Okay, Locke versus Inception. Max goes first.
He's the only actor in the movie. It's an amazing performance. He's sitting in a car and just Tom Hardy talking makes it a thrilling, intense, thrilling, emotional experience. Inception is muddled. It has a lot of great ideas and a lot of great scenes, but at the end of the day, it isn't as imaginative or impressive as Locke.
Okay, time begins when you begin speaking.
So first of all, Locke is boring. I watched the movie. I couldn't get all the way through it. I tried twice because people said, "Oh, it's like actually an interesting thing." It's not. It's boring and it's awful and it's horrible. Inception is an amazing mindfuck of a film that basically gets inside your head, makes you think what's real, what's not. People talked and debated for hours afterwards. Was it a good film? Like, was it not only just
Was it
great
a
film,
good film? Is what they debated.
No, it was. Was it?
Time's
What,
up.
what was the ending mean? It's one of the
10
best
second
movies of all time.
rebuttals, Max.
Locke isn't boring. You're boring, and Inception is overrated.
I agree that it's overrated, except that it's so much better rated than Locke, because Locke is a piece of steaming shit.
You're a piece of steaming shit.
All right.
I'm sorry none of the actors died, David.
If Tom Hardy had died,
Based
you would
on the
win.
arguments, Dan, where are you going?
Oh my god. I don't. I guess David?
Yeah.
I think David.
Robert? I'm going to go with David on that one, too.
I think Max's arguments were childish, but I don't want to beat up on it too much, so I'm just going to go Max.
Okay, I'm going to go David. That ties us up. Here we go. Best movie with the word... Any movie with the word devil in the title.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Sorry.
One. I guess you guys can take that.
Nope. No, thank you.
I think I'm okay.
One's are you holding out? You got. Time's gonna run out. Someone needs to name one.
I can think
of so many movies with devil in the title, but nothing I want to defend in case there's a better one.
Let's put
we go to the
House
next?
of the Devil. Ty
You
West.
picked one. Now you gotta pick
House
one.
of the Devil.
Devil in the Blue Dress.
Yes. Okay. House of the Devil.
Go
right?
for it, Max.
House of the Devil is a brilliantly directed, slow burn, well acted, so much fun. The twists work. You love every second of it. It's like watching a brilliant modern 80s movie, and it's a mile-a-minute thriller that's fun and great.
Devil in the Blue Dress stars Denzel Washington, one of the most amazing, intense performances of a career filled with amazing and intense performances. Denzel's amazing, so if you don't like Denzel, then vote for Max.
Wow, interesting tactic there. Max gets 10 seconds.
Ultimately, while sexy and fun, Devil in a Blue Dress is a forgettable movie, while House of the Devil makes waves in your mind. You remember the twists and you remember the moments.
I mean, look, House of the Devil is clearly a movie that I've never seen, and so it must not be any good. And doesn't star Denzel Washington.
All right, Robert,
I do
based on
have
those
a question
arguments.
before we go any further. Does House of the Devil have Denzel Washington? No, That's a
But
shame.
based on the arguments, Robert, who are you picking?
House of the Devil.
House of the Devil. Dan?
David is very good at sticking with one central point in his arguments. I commend him for that, but I would also go with House of the
All right,
Devil.
I'm with you. So Max, you're at 4 and David's 3, right?
I'm sorry.
That is correct.
Okay.
You should have said
So
Devil.
he needs. If Max gets this, he wins.
Max
right?
gets this, he wins. That's
Okay,
correct.
so David, you need to get this to continue the game, otherwise Max will win.
Oh no, jeez.
Does this go on as long as they're tied?
No.
Yeah, we did one once that was 7.5 hours.
There's a tiebreaker.
I might pee on Max.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Won't be the last.
Okay.
Bravo, guys. Bravo.
In honor of the election, what movie character would you be most intimidated to debate?
Obviously, Denzel Washington, The Great Debaters.
Okay.
It's called The Great Debaters.
Oh,
There's
Max?
so many good choices.
Okay, gotta pick one.
There's there's
I know,
too
it's
many good
speed round.
choices.
Pick one, Max.
I mean, like,
Time's ticking.
let's go for a recent character, the Leonardo DiCaprio from Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. Got it. I forget his name.
his name is Jordan Belfort.
Yes, Jordan. That's what I was trying to get into. Okay, so but you get to go first, David, since you said it first. Tell us, Denzel and the Great Debaters. Why should we be most?
I think we know why.
It's Denzel, The Great Debaters. But Jordan Belfort did Quaaludes in massive quantities, so his debating would be, he'd be drooling on his shirt, which, while potentially intimidating because you think he might be a psychopath, isn't necessarily an effective debating tactic. That's it.
Okay.
We're
Max?
gonna judge a movie by one scene. The Great Debaters has a scene where Denzel Washington is literally asleep. I'm not afraid of debating him. He's asleep all the time. Jordan Belfort is a sociopath who will lie and is a fast talker and can come up with answers for anything super quickly. It would be terrifying
That
to debate
sounds
him.
familiar.
10 seconds rebuttal. Go ahead. Last chance here.
Jordan Belfort could sell you something, right? He can convince you to sort of put your life savings into something, but doesn't mean he's like a snake oil salesman. He's not an effective debader. Denzel Washington, first of all, is Denzel Washington. The movie's called The Great Debaters.
You just give the point. Max, last 10 seconds.
That was the best way to repeat something you've already said. I didn't expect him to be saying the exact same thing until the very end, and I was like, what? I didn't expect that.
Before he could make his point. 10 seconds, Max. Here we go.
Jordan Belfort is a better debater than Denzel Washington, the great debaters. And Jordan Belfort could also be played by Denzel Washington in a theoretical world.
Wow, a lot of interesting
He
things.
made my point. He made my point.
No, I'm just saying my character could do even more.
Mr. Kirkman, based on those arguments.
Oh, shit, man. Don't do this to me.
It's Jordan Belfort.
It's obvious. It's obvious.
Based on the arguments, who do you like more?
I'm just going to... Hold on. I'm going to go with David so that we can tie it up.
Oh, jeez.
So that we can tie it up.
I threw my first movie fight.
Well,
Did you?
Yeah, in a speed round.
as a fact checker, I can confirm that Denzel Washington is indeed Denzel Washington. But
come on
if
now.
I'm judging based on the arguments, I would have to side with Max.
He's on Quaaludes.
I would too.
Seriously,
I needed to hear a little bit more. Max
you see
gets
that
the
Lamborghini?
point, and Max gets the game.
I refuse to accept these results.
Wow, what a show!
Oh my God.
Green Valley is canceled.
I have to thank these amazing guests. Robert Kirkman, thank you so much, sir. What an honor to have you.
Oh,
We're big fans,
thanks.
and Walking Dead Season 7 airs Sunday. I cannot wait to find out who dies. That's so depressing to say, but I'm gonna. We are.
It's
the
a depressing time.
Theme through the show, I guess. Outcast Season 1 coming out on Halloween. I'm excited for that as well. And Green Valley, which we have here. Guys, pick this up. Right?
So good.
Really cool. Thank you for
really great book.
And then Dirk Gently on BBC America on Saturday. So Saturday, Sunday, you guys have your TV planned. You better watch both. And come back Monday, 10 a.m. to watch Mr. Kirkman back here live, answering calls with us and talking about this big show that airs Sunday night here on Knocking Dead, Monday, 10 a.m. with me, Hector. It's going to be a lot of fun. Max, anything else you'd like to say or plug? Max Landis, up to my knees on Twitter.
guys, Channel Zero on Sci-Fi Channel, which it came out and it's really good. It's fantastic. My friend Nick Antosca wrote it. I'm the producer of it, and it's real good. And then I have a short coming out probably in a month or two with this guy again, which I did with a guy named Mike Diva, called Day Trippers, and that's. And I guess Bright starts shooting soon. Then Deep. That's
a lot of stuff. You'll be back. Come back and promote it when you got more stuff. You always have stuff.
Yes, and I won't have rainbow hair anymore.
Oh, really? This is it?
That's it?
We're gonna see.
What
it's gonna be
happened?
goodbye.
Dirk's done. The rainbow hair was when Dirk got greenlit, and then
gone.
so I don't know what I'm
look
gonna
forward
do
to seeing
next.
what's next. David Alpert, wow, thank you so much for coming. Great job.
Thank you.
They can get to you at Skybound on Twitter. Anything else you'd like to plug?
You know, honestly, I just want to reach out to Denzel Washington. We have movies for you. We have video games for you. We have TV shows. Whatever you want, Denzel, we're here for you.
You got it, Denzel. Is Denzel on Twitter, Dan? I don't know.
I'll look.
We could all go
Hell
to him right
no.
now.
He's way
I
too
was gonna
classy
say, I don't
for
think he
Twitter.
does.
he's a
Robert
great
Kirkman.
debater.
Robert Kirkman on Twitter. Anything else you'd like to call out?
Jack Reacher, Never Go Back. Tom Cruise is amazing. Early screenings tonight, and then it opens wide tomorrow. Make sure you run out to those theaters and see
it's not
him
very good.
do some great. What?
I heard it's not.
You go fuck yourself, man. I'm seeing this movie in like an hour, and it's gonna be fucking amazing.
I heard that the first
How
Jack
dare
Reacher
you.
wasn't very good,
Yeah,
and then
it
I
was-
went and saw it, and it kicked fucking ass.
It's
so don't believe
it's
it.
All right.
amazing.
We'll
It's
see. I
absolutely
haven't seen it
amazing.
yet.
I'm ready for some more Jack Reacher. I don't care if it sounds like a sex move.
Never
I
go
would
back.
Jack Reacher someone
Never go
to see
back.
Jack Reacher.
Dan Merle on the
that's how
couch
much I
at
love
Merle
those movies.
Dan.
At Merle Dan, I've seen Jack Reacher. I won't say anything. I'll let Robert go in, so I won't tell you anything. Robert.
What's the Keanu movie?
And Denzel Washington is not on Twitter. That's my
Okay.
final fact check.
Is,
of the
is,
day.
he, is he in Jack Reacher?
We will see. I don't know. These guys got to go, but we'll talk a little bit of this on After the Fight Live right
Jack
now. But
Reacher
we'll see then.
versus
Thanks for
John
if you're
Wick.
watching on Plus. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and thank you guys. We'll see you Monday, 10 a.m. for
Yes.
Knocking Dead with Mr. Kirkman.
Can't wait.
And we'll see you all next week. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye bye.
Every podcast we put on YouTube comes with this kick-ass graphic listing all the topics your favorite Screen Junkies podcasters are talking about. If you click the topics, you can skip around and choose your own podcast battle royale. Go ahead, try them all. If you haven't already, subscribe to Screen Junkies on YouTube to join us for future fights. Or if you prefer to listen on iTunes, click the logo to download an audio version.